This is the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
The award-winning Lee Pitts Live is brought to you by Hodges University. Build the future you at Hodges University.
Southwest Florida, we're so thrilled to welcome my good friend here. I know you guys, everybody Lee Pitts is a good friend. That's the cool part about hosting this show. I have a lot of good friends, and so if you try to jack me in an alley or something, all my friends will come after you. Got my good friend, Dr. Darryl Clare here. Dr. Clare, welcome back to Lee Pitts Live, man.
It's great to be here.
You know, the last time you were here, you was community activist and all of that. Now you come to us as the president of the Community Connection Services, Inc.
That's correct.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, you've been building on this for quite some time, you know, through different processes, but you sort of gotten to where you want to be now. What is Community Connection Services, Inc.?
Well, you alluded to the fact that we've been really working hard in the community, trying to get a position where we can be not only active, but also effective. I created a nonprofit organization called Community Connection Services, Inc., and we build collaborations and partnerships to get the job done. The job meaning the end of generational poverty as it exists in Lee County. So that's our major mission right now.
Now, one of the things that you recognize is that low-income children, specifically based on income, are being undereducated in Lee County schools. Why do you say that, and how does that get resolved?
Well, let's look at the facts. I think a fact-based solution would also give you a sustainable result. So the facts are indicated after decades of FCAT scores, clearly saying that kids from 6th to 8th grade are below grade level in math and reading. With that said, that represents about 6,000 children per year. If you take that over a decade doing the math, that's 60,000 children that are being pushed through the system unprepared for the next century. And we all know that there's a high-tech environment outside, and the environmental potential means you have to have the skills capable of being employed.
How does your nonprofit organization go about addressing these issues?
What we established was the Academy. And by working in partnership and collaboration with the Housing Authority, our first collaboration.
Which housing authority?
The City of Fort Myers.
Okay, remember the show airs in like 7 counties. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. City of Fort Myers Housing Authority. And with the Olympia Track Club, we realized that Olympia Track Club has some of the best athletes in town, but we're not certain of their educational skills. We brought in 12 students in our prototype, and out of the 12 students, 100% of the students after a 12-week session improved their grade level from below grade level to grade level and above. So it showed us that all it takes is a clear systems and process to get the job done, increase the educational level within that age group.
Okay, so let's take Olympia as an example here, and I want you to Sesame Street this for me. We got the athletic component there. So when they come, before they participate in athletics or after they participated in athletics, or they bring back homework, or you guys monitoring their grade, tell us how that works.
Well, immediately once they enter the program, we do a pre-test.
I got you.
The pre-assessment is based on the Texas level of assessment. Texas is point 19, ranked 19 in the nation. Florida is ranked 49th, depending on what survey you use. So we're pushing the scale high for each student as they participate. There's a post-test, the same Texas assessment, and the difference is amazing. They come in, they can only answer maybe 10% of the questions correctly. By the time they leave, it's well over 60%. So when they return to class, now they've already established their abilities in math and reading well above what's expected when they return.
What has been the response from not only the students, but the parents as well to your program?
The response, it's real interesting that you'd ask that. The response when the students first come into the classroom is disgust. They don't want to be there.
Right.
Why are you forcing me to work? Why am I here in the first place? But when they realize, this is from the student's perspective, when they realize that they have support, somebody to have personal eye contact with them, answer their questions without having a sense of feeling embarrassed, and a team spirit within the room, the attitude changes tremendously. I mean, the facial expressions, the eye contact, it's so rewarding. Parents enjoy their children improving, their behavior changes. Each child is no longer frustrated. When their questions are in their mind, the questions are being answered. When there's difficulty in new words like antonyms, we assume that everybody knows that, but we don't, because we ask, do you understand?
And that's good that you don't make those assumptions. Therefore, you can find a level to start at to try to make people better off in society.
Exactly.
I love
Yes.
that
Yes.
because I've made it very clear on numerous interviews and conversations I've had over the years that when I got to college, I had a lot of deficiencies that I had to fix there by going to being in an environment, a low-income environment, where I feel like some of the responsibilities, of course, is the family and the children, but I can look back and say that, hey, a lot of it had to do with the education I got in the school. And in that particular case, it was so many students that were falling so far behind academically. The teacher would spend a lot of time disciplining students, and students like myself had to find our way. Anyway, that's just my soapbox there. Where do you see your program 5 years from now?
Our plan is to expand. We know that through research that this is a systemic problem. We know that children through the grades of 6 through 8 throughout the entire nation who are low income or free lunch students are suffering. They're not doing well in school. The potential for incarceration is great. The potential for poverty is great. The potential for unemployment is great. The intention is to have this program grow in Lee County, share the results. As a matter of fact, we've actually have a relationship, again, collaboration with University of Florida. So we have Professor Mickey Swisher, who teaches 4 graduate courses in community development, quantitative analysis, survey, and we're using her internship program to come to Fort Myers and do the analysis. But with that in mind, she's going to produce journal articles, theses, dissertations to support the development of the data and share it throughout the nation. If we can produce a program that works and is solid in all of its data reporting, it can be scaled maybe clear across the world.
What is different about your tutorial program from other tutorial programs in the area?
Well, Lee, when you say tutorial, my ears immediately go up because it's not a tutorial program, it's an academic excellence program.
Okay.
We understand that we use math and reading as a tool to show progress. Each student sees their progress in math. They say, wow, I'm doing great. Let me get another example. Oh, my reading skills have increased. I'm learning a new vocabulary. Okay, that's used to show progress. But our major goal is to create habits of work, change self-esteem, develop an individual internally. So we're talking about a whole comprehensive program. Tutorial doesn't do that. Tutorial program specifically focuses on a subject, not the individual as a whole. So it's a totally different concept.
I know it's early on we talked about low-income children. Two-pronged question. Are you only accepting low-income students? And 2, where can people go to tap into your program?
We're accepting all students, but interestingly enough, low-income students who receive free lunch are performing below level. So our intention is to attract students who are performing below level first. We have minimum resources and very little space, so we feel that we have to address the issues where it's most critical. In terms of applications and where they can go, the STARS complex right there on Edison, the center of the Dunbar community, go in there any time of the day when it's open and fill out an application. That's all that's required.
Okay.
The program is free.
And we also have your email address and your phone number that has been appeared on the screen throughout. People can also hit you up on Facebook, right?
Yes, they can.
By your name on Facebook.
My name or Community Connections, Inc.
Okay. In your background, what do you feel about your background as a doctor, a professor, that best qualifies you to put together something like this that's getting so much good respect around the community?
Well, It starts with my childhood. I grew up in Harlem, New York, a tough neighborhood. But if it wasn't for people in the community, grandparents, uncles, cousins, everybody in the hood that protected me, oversaw, there was some in the neighborhood that didn't get that protection, and they're no longer with us, or they're in Greenhaven or some other prison. I think after that, it was high school, going through college with coaches and professors constantly pushing. And if it wasn't for those people, I would have dropped out.
One of the things I find interesting about you as we wrap this up is that you have daughters who are doing really well academically, but you focus on people in need. Like, okay, your daughters are doing fine, and I've been around them numerous times. You exposed them to a lot of things. Why is that so? Why are you so passionate about helping those others as well, like a village?
Well, the excitement for me is the fact that it's me giving back. I mean, there were so many people in my life. I mean, it could have gone one way or the other. I mean, being a male means that you constantly test the borders and boundaries, constantly. And if it wasn't for a variety, a whole list and slew of folks that kept me in line, I wouldn't be here.
Okay.
So at this point in my life, I've been blessed with wonderful children, a good lifestyle. It's time to give back.
Cost.
Yes.
To tap into community connection services.
For the Academy, absolutely nothing. It's
Wow.
free. Grab it while you can. It won't be free forever.
Dr. Clare, man, I just don't know what to say, man. That's just outstanding. Appreciate you coming on the show and keeping us informed on this great program in the community.
Thank you.
All right, keep up the good work. As the saying goes on this particular show, for those who say it can't be done, they are usually interrupted by those like Dr. Darryl, Clare, and all the fine people who are associated with community connection services, changing the community. We'll see you next week on the award-winning Lee Pitts Live.
Lee Pitts Live is a Lee Pitts Enterprise production.